Okay, and we're recording on my computer. So if anything, I can upload this to YouTube. I'm just not going to be looking directly at this camera. So sorry. This is where I'm talking to. Okay, so hey guys. All right. So what I think we're going to talk about tonight, well, I don't think, I know because I wrote out notes for it, is expanding your reach on social media. So like, how do I get people to, not just like how do I friend request, but like how do I get more people to see my stuff? And so this is a lot of what I have learned by doing. And I will tell you this just to kind of to share a little bit for you. I have been petrified to ever have a public Facebook profile. Any of you guys that actually know me and like my story, my daughter, Chris, she's adopted by Chris. She has a biological father who we have several restraining orders against and is really crafty and weird. And I was like, no way, like I'm going to be like Fort Knox on lockdown on Facebook. Well, that was until I started doing an attraction marketing business where like I'm not spamming people all the time. I can't just friend request everybody and I need to be able to be found. And so it was a big, big risk for me, very big out of my comfort zone, like the way a lot of you guys feel about going live. That's the way I feel about having a public Facebook. But I will say this, what I do is anytime there's a photo of Jordan or it's a live video with Jordan, I set the audience to friends only. So the way you can do that is when you're making a post, it'll have the little globe for public or it'll have the two little heads for friends. That's also where you can block certain people from seeing your posts and stuff like that. So if it's something that, you know, is... Oh, you know what? Oh, no, I thought I was back on Zoom. Yeah, just mute your stuff there. Cool, cool, cool. Where are we? Okay. So, anyway, so that's, but I decided, I was like, you know what, if this is what it's going to take to help me grow this business, I need to do that. So, I have noticed a huge difference in my following, in my interaction, in my everything since my Facebook has been public. There's really not a specific thing that you do to make your profile public. It's just you set your posts to start anything like from today on. You can change the setting to public, and it will always auto default to whatever your last post was. So, for example, if I do a live video with Jordan, I make it for friends only, and then my next post would show up as friends only. So I have to remember to put it as public. And part of the reason that we do this not only is because it allows your content to be shared and like kind of put out there, it also allows your hashtags to be able to be searchable. I actually signed up a couple of, well, I shouldn't say a couple, a person found me that signed up as a customer and then a marketer for about a hot minute. I did a hashtag break the stigma talking about mental health stuff. And she was looking up break the stigma hashtags and found my page that way. But if that post would have been private, she wouldn't have found it. So it allows you to be searchable, like your posts to be included with hashtags. If people share your videos or share your posts or whatever, their friends are then going to see it. And we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. But there's just a lot of benefits to it. So I would encourage you to do that because I have every reason in the book to make my profile private, and I still find a way to make it work because it's made a huge difference. So it also allows you, as you're friend requesting people that you meet in groups and stuff, they can see your page. And if you're doing your marketing the right way, they can see you're a human and they're more likely to follow you still, or like to accept your friend request. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my face on my computer over here and right here. So let's talk basics really quick. What should your Facebook profile look like? So the first things first, your profile picture should be a really nice clean picture of your face. Don't have pictures of your cat, of your whatever, of like just whatever. I mean, something that is really shows your face. It could be with like you and your spouse. It could be with your kids if you want to, but like really just professional looking photo of you. Doesn't have to be a professional photo, but you know what I mean, right? Not like I don't know, just a nice clean picture where they're like, oh, this person looks like they have their shit together. Okay. So then your cover photo, that should be, you know, whatever if it's going to be something about your brand, make it something like what your brand is going to be. If it's like your pets or if it's your kids or if it's, mine is just an inspirational quote that I have tattooed on me. I actually made that in word swag and made it my cover photo. It can be a quote. It can be I mean, just have it be something that is, has to do with you, with your brand, that is unique, to you. Have at least a cover photo. I can't tell you how many people I've seen that don't have cover photos. Okay, the second thing, and I didn't know about this until a couple months ago. It's been huge. You have to make sure that your followers button is turned on, and I'll tell you how to do that. You're going to go to settings in your Facebook. So I personally most of the time do Facebook on my phone. So I think you find your settings in the little wheel on the computer. But if you're on your phone, you go to the little 3 lines, scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's settings. You're going to click on public profile is an option there. You're going to click on public profile, and there's going to be an option that says who can follow me. Most of the time it defaults to just friends. And you're going to pick anyone can follow me. And what this allows someone to do is every time they send you a friend request, if you don't want to accept their friend request, you can actually have them just be a follower. And then when you post stuff that's just to your friends, they don't see it. So what that allows, you'll actually start to see your followers go up once this is turned on, and you'll be like, wait, why do I have followers now? Because it automatically makes people, say someone sends you a friend request. You guys may have seen this before if you've ever sent friend requests. Say you send someone a friend request and they don't accept it yet, but then the following button gets checked. So anyone that has sent me a friend request that I don't approve, they stay a follower. But they can't request me. Now, if it's like a creep from across the world, or it's clearly a fake profile, or it's whatever, when I get their friend request, I just block them right then and there. So there's that. But if it's someone that say okay, I want you to see my stuff, but this is just my personal situation. I live in not a super small town, but where I went to high school, a lot of people still live here. And like I said, I have my ex. So if I'm I want you to see my stuff, but I don't know if you actually know my ex-husband, I won't accept their friend requests, but I will make them a follower. Or I'll just, but then they stay a follower and they don't see my Jordan stuff. So you have that option. All right, then the next thing is the bio, the little bio that's under your photo. I feel like this pretty much goes without saying because we are all taught to create curiosity, but you don't want that to say anything about Modere. You don't want to have a link in there, none of that stuff. I think mine is something like a wife and mom who loves beer and is way too honest, because my brand is kind of just really blunt, drink a lot of beer, watch crap television. That's kind of my brand. See, it's easy. We can do a whole thing on, branding I could go on for forever about. But, I'm just because I have Terry and Nikki and Kelly are my thing. So Nikki, dog mom, hard worker, love, makeup lover. That could be just a really simple bio. Terry could be my favorite people call me mom, grandma, and whatever, whatever, just something there's something that's short and sweet that talks about you, that's still sort of fun and inspiring, but isn't I'm a home-based business owner. You know what I mean? So, because people are going to read that as soon as they see your friend request or as soon as they go to your page, and if they can tell you sell something, they're going to be a lot less likely to accept your friend request. I'm not saying that you can't promote that you are an entrepreneur or that you're a leader or that you're, whatever, but it just shouldn't be and I've even seen top people in Modere that have this, but I know, at least for me as a Facebook user, if I got a friend request from someone that their bio said, my mission is to help people change someone's life or whatever, even though it sounds super inspiring, I'd probably be they're selling me something. So it just, as long as it's not a very, and we all have been a part of it, works. We've all been seen the Thrive stuff. We know it. We know people that are sick of network marketers can tell when someone's a network marketer. So just make it what you would make about yourself if you were not a business owner, and that's your brand, really. You know what I mean? So something fun, short, sweet, but it says a little bit about you. And then your featured photos. This is what a lot of people look at too. Right under your bio, you get to pick those little 5 photos. I personally have 4 because it just looks cleaner to me. You can't crop and edit those photos. Whatever you select, Facebook just throws them up there. And I'm really OCD about pic collages and stuff like that. And so what I personally did is I made a 4 photo, I picked my 4 and I actually put them in one picture so I could control what was zoomed in and what wasn't. And then I just made it the one photo, so it's 4. But I've seen people do 4 pictures of 4, or like, like make it really fun, cute things. So have fun with it. But those should also be, again, something that shows your brand. Pictures of you with your kids, with your dogs. Now, I do have a picture of me speaking on stage. Like, so if someone is like a business owner, eventually one day I would love for people from other companies to follow me to hear content, but I know that I'm not like at that level yet, but it shows like, hey, I'm speaking in front of a crowd of people kind of thing. So it can still have you, like, say you have an incredible weight loss transformation. Like, I've seen people that have that, like, just lifestyles, not like tummies, but like showing them 2 years ago to now. So it can, have that with it, but just not like a picture of you holding a bottle of Burn kind of thing, if that kind of makes sense. It's kind of a gut thing. And I'm by no means like a John Eric, like, social media expert or anything like that. But if you're unsure about it, I'll be honest with you. So you can always say, hey, will you look, I just doctored up my profile. Will you look at it and tell me what you think? You know what I mean? That's totally fine. So that is kind of the basics of setting your profile to start being more shareable. So let's talk about how you get more eyes on your stuff. So my favorite, I'll give you a couple ways, but my favorite way to add friends is through Facebook groups. And here's what I do. I usually am active in at least 3 groups, but no more than 5 at a time, because if it's more than that, I'm not actually getting to know the people in those groups. So I have a couple. What I look for when I look for in a group, and actually Facebook will tell you this if you're searching it on a computer, it'll tell you how many active posts have been in that group that week. It'll tell you how many active posts that day. So for example, I joined a Grey's Anatomy chat group last week. Sorry, my computer was, okay. I joined a Grey's Anatomy group that last week, and there are so many Grey's Anatomy groups on Facebook, but here was my criteria. I wanted there to be under 2,000 people, because any more than that, you're just lost in the shuffle. I wanted there to be at least an active post every single day, or 10 plus posts this week, or whatever it is, because then I knew people were actually interacting in that group. Once I join, if I scroll through it and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to make connections in here. There's 750 comments on every post. With a lot of TV shows, I guess there's a lot like that. But that's kind of what I look for. I look to make sure there's actually people moving and grooving in those posts, and it's not just like a dead group, because sometimes 2 small groups don't ever have anything going on in them.
Hey, Amanda?
Yeah.
So I was looking for some groups today, and a lot of them are private, so you can't see any activity until they let you join. So any advice there?
I let them accept me, and then I'll just leave the group if it's not whatever. I was looking at it on the computer, and on the computer it'll tell you 10 plus posts or something, but on the phone I don't think it does. But yeah, I can usually tell by if there's 100 something K members, I'm just not even going to do this. But yeah, there have been groups where they've added me in and I've just left. And they don't know the difference. So, and what I like to do is when they accept me, if it's a group I want to stay in and then I want to meet people in, I'll usually post a picture of me and my kids. Or if it's like with Grey's Anatomy, I posted a Grey's Anatomy meme or whatever, but I'll just post a photo and something, just be like, hey guys, thank you so much for accepting me in the group. For my Grey's Anatomy one, it was I am so happy to find other people that are obsessed with Grey's as I am. This new season has made it so much more like the original. I'm from North Georgia. If anyone else is in that area, thank you so much for adding me. And then I got a bunch of comments welcome, welcome. One other person was oh, I'm from North Georgia, or whatever it was. And so I sent them a comment back, and I was oh my gosh, what a small world. Anyway, so here's my rule of thumb. Well, let me go through the welcome post really quick first. When someone welcomes me and they comment on my welcome post, I actually picked this tip up from one of the many videos in M Life Nation. I will send them a private message and a friend request, and I will say, hey, thank you so much for your message. This group seems really awesome. How long have you been in it? because people want to talk about them in the group. Because people are like, Facebook groups, if for someone that doesn't have a social life, that's like their friends, right? So I usually say, thanks so much for welcoming me. This group seems great. How long have you been in the group? And I'll just start talking to them that way. Now, anything after the welcome post, here is how I make friends in those groups. I myself will start I'll make a post, something relevant to the group, or something really generic, like if it's like, where's everyone from in here, or like, what was your favorite, who's your favorite couple? I'm using Grey's Anatomy because I just have been getting into that group this week. Who's your favorite couple of all time? Like, or just if it's like, say it's like a dog breed group, so I'm in a bunch of golden doodle groups. Hey, how long did it take for you to find the right dog food for your pet? What do they use? Like something that people are everyone has an opinion on. And so I will basically find something to reply to those comments on. So say someone's like, oh, my favorite couple is Callie in Arizona. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so cute. I miss Callie on the show so much, or whatever. And then if I get a reply back to my reply, like if there's at least 3 comment back and forth between me and one other person, I will go to their page. If their page is public, I will like and comment on their most recent post, and then I'll send them a friend request. If their page is not public, I just send them a friend request. I prefer to comment on their stuff first, but if they're not public, I can't do that. So I'll just send them a friend request. If they reply to my reply, then they're interested in like communicating, and I'll let those replies go on for however long. I'm trying to think what else. Another great one is, the reason I love doing this with groups so much is because I can actually talk about things I'm genuinely interested. You're not going to see me join like a Game of Thrones group and pretend to know what the heck I'm talking about, or like actually care what anybody has to say about it. Like, join groups of things you're actually interested in. There are so many freaking Facebook groups out there. If you have trouble finding one, hit me up. We'll find one. But there's one for there's traveling to different cities, and people talk about how they plan trips to different areas. There's a group, I promise you, for every single dog breed. There's so many moms groups, but that's pretty generic, but there's I'm in a moms who love beer group. Just stuff like that. So, and like I said, I like to work 3 to 5 actively at a time. And the other thing I'll do, other than making a post in those groups and interacting, is I will actually, it's just part of my time block of my day. So whether you're doing this full time or you're doing your one dedicated hour or whatever it is at night, if you're working full time, part of my time block is I'll go through at least 5 posts in that group and reply and comment on those posts. Because what I want to have happen is people in that group to know my name. They see me commenting on a lot of stuff. They want to respond back to me in my posts. And so by the time we get around to having a reply conversation, it's not weird that I'm the person that got added yesterday and I'm sending them a friend request. So I've actually built a rapport in a couple of groups that I'm in that I became really active in them. And I made connections with some of those people. And someone had asked a question once about skincare. They were like, has anyone ever tried Rodan & Fields? And there was a girl in that group who 2 of them actually, who I built a rapport with, and they were like, I don't know about Rodan & Fields, but Amanda sells this stuff called Modere, and it's amazing. They referred it for me because, and the girl knew who I was because I'm really active in that group. So they're like, oh, I didn't know Amanda did that. Let me send her a friend request. We weren't even Facebook friends yet, me and this girl, but I'm really active in replying to questions and answering stuff. So I make it a point to go through at least the most recent 5 and respond to that question, and then I'll also go through the replies. Again, reply to somebody. If they reply back to me, boom, friend request. So, sorry, I'm my mouth is getting dry. Okay. Let me make sure I don't have any notes about that. Okay. I'll say this part of it after. Okay, so then the next thing I like to find friends on is through my friends page. And I don't mean I go through their friends list and friend request them, but I call them comment replies. So say someone posts, and these you have to really kind of search for to find it, but it's a little easier to then get that friend request. So say someone posts a picture of their kid, right? and you comment on the picture and you're like, oh my God, she's so adorable. And someone else has commented on there and said, hey, where did you get that shirt? And she says, oh, I got it at Walmart. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I was going to ask the same thing. It's adorable. Did it come in any other colors or whatever? Oh my God, I was going to say the same thing. And if she replies to my comment on the back, then I'll add that person's friend that commented. You know what I mean? I do the same thing. I look and see if they're public. I would ever, and like, I'm like, oh my, and then if I was to start a conversation with them later, we both know Nikki or, whatever it is. The other thing I'll do is say someone posts a really funny comment on my friend's status. Like, say it's like a mom thing or something, and they're like, oh my God, my kid, had an explosion diaper and had poop in his hair all day today, or like something stupid like that. I'll reply back like, oh my goodness, this cracks me up. I just peed my pants. And then, like, if they just seem really cool or they said something funny, I'll, comment on their stuff, send them a friend request. Or if they're private, I'll just send them a friend request. Maybe send them a message like, oh my goodness, I spit my water out of my mouth when I saw your comment on Terry's post. I just had to send you a friend request. So that's another way that I find friends, because they already know that I'm a real person because I'm clearly friends with who their friend is. You know what I mean? But there has to be some kind of common ground. I don't just go through and friend request them. And then the one thing I was going to say, so when you're adding people from groups and you're doing those comment replies, I personally, because I'm just like a very time-blocked kind of person, but me personally, normally when I'm doing all these commenting and adding and friend requesting, it's all kind of done around the same time, right? So what I like to do, this might sound kind of silly, but I think it makes a difference, is I like to go to my Facebook wall and say, okay, when someone sees my friend request, they're going to go look at my Facebook. What are the first 3 or 4 things they're going to see? If the first thing is a before and after photo, I like to make sure I have another really funny image or quote or like something, because my brain is kind of like just humor stuff, but if yours is like, inspirational, like I like to have I don't want the first picture someone sees on my wall to be a before and after picture. It's fine if they see the before and after, because I've actually had people that I friend requested, they've accepted my request and then sent me a message and said, hey, what do you sell? I just saw that before and after picture. So, like, it's okay that they see it. I just don't like for that to be the first thing that they see. So if I know I'm going to be, like, interacting and adding a bunch of people that day, I'll make sure that I have at least, like, a 3-to-1 ratio of, like, personal posts to a business post. So kind of look at your profile. Like, if I was to get a friend request from this person, would I think they really wanted to connect with me to connect or to sell me something? So I like to look through it through like customer eyes, basically. All right. So I had to talk about it. Do you guys know what I'm going to say next helps to grow your following on Facebook? You know what I'm going to say next? I see Terry's face. Nikki's nodding too. You guys have to go live. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here's why. I'll explain. All right. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go live all the time about the products or the business, but here are a couple ideas, because the idea behind going live isn't going to necessarily flock people to your page. However, it's when people share your live videos or when you have hashtags on your live that people find them through them, right? So here's a couple of tutorials. Like when I did that ear candle, that was the stupidest thing, but oh my God, I got shared 17 times or something. Like crazy. So I like your posts about your weight loss system or your posts about whatever probably aren't going to just get shared for the heck of it. But I like to make sure that I'm doing videos that if I was to watch it, I would click share. You know what I mean? I was going to say singing karaoke, but if you're not going to go live video, you're not going to sing karaoke on Facebook. But those videos get shared all the time. Makeup tutorials get shared all the time. Show how you organize your pantry. Show how you do your nails or how you put in your, oh, that's a really good idea. I need to do a video on putting in contact lenses because I used to work in an eye doctor, so I could show how to put in contact lenses. How do you dry your hair? How do you curl your hair? How do you go through your wardrobe? Be like, what should I keep and what should I get rid of? That might not be a shared video, but people, something that people would share. Another really great thing, and I'm thinking about trying to do something like this month. It all just really depends, to be blunt and honest, how my February paycheck is, but I want to do something like a shared video for a product giveaway. So you guys, like, if you have packets of Sustain, if you have packets of probiotics, if you have packets of Revitalize, if you have dishwasher pods, if you have laundry pods, you have a free product to give away, right? Like, that's free product. It's sample. So you do, like, maybe you talk about living clean, or you talk about your skincare routine, or you talk about your supplement routine, and you say, if you click share on this video, I'm going to go live tomorrow and pick a raffle winner, and you're going to get a free sample of my favorite product. And then, like, you follow through and you send someone a sample of whatever it is, but like giving people free stuff really encourages them to share. So what's another, like, good share video? Unboxing. What I like to do when I do an unboxing video is I like to say anybody who shares this video is going to get a $10 discount from me. So then I'll send them the $10 off. If they're a current customer, I explain to them how they can get $10 for referrals. So that's a different story. So I say anyone who shares this video will get a $10 credit from me because I'm talking about products right then and there, you know. So what do you do when they share the video? Anyone who shares my video, I go through, I shoot them a private message, and I say, hey, thank you so much for sharing my video, and thanks for checking it out. Well, that's a different, I send everyone a personal message who watches my live video and just tell them, well, not you guys, I love you, but, like, I go through and I send every of my friends, if they watch my live, I mean, some of them watch it every single time, but if somebody new I don't see on my live a lot, I send them a message and I just tell them thank you for checking out my video, and start a conversation with them. But that's a different topic for a different time. But if someone shares the video, I send them a private message and I say, hey, thank you so much for sharing my video. And of course, if they're entered in to win something because of it, I tell them about that. But then what I do is I mental note this depending on how many shares you have. But then I go back through, and anyone who has liked, commented, or anything, like, okay, there's a girl named Holly who shares my stuff all the time. Say Holly shares my video. I'll make sure I go back and look at Holly's post, and if any of her friends have liked it, commented on it, or anything, I shoot them a friend request. So that's how I'm finding people that way. And a lot of times I'll get friend requests when my videos get shared because they're like, who is this crazy chick? Like, you know, whatever. So sharing them helps people not only become drawn to you, but then you notice people are already, you know, watching you. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. The other thing too is when your stuff is public, it's not even necessarily live videos that get shared. And I will tell you this: if you are live and you have, like, you know, moderate, not like 40, but like moderate hashtags on your live, Facebook puts those up first, even before the posts that are most recent. So, like, that's how, like, Break the Stigma was one of the how that chick found me, because I hashtagged it on my live video. But even posts that are, like, so say someone, like, I post the most stupid, like, coffee quote things all the time, and people will share it, because, like, you know, there are some people that go share crazy on Facebook. They just, like, share every single thing that's funny that they see. So if they see a weird quote that I posted, or, like, image, they share it. Well, I still make it a point to go back through, and anyone that commented or liked on my image that they shared, even if it's not a live, even if it has nothing to do with me, I will go through, again, check to see if I can interact with them first and then friend request them, or not, I just friend request them. So, like, say someone shared, I posted a Grey's Anatomy meme on my Facebook, right? That was like, oh, no one prepared me for what Shonda Rhimes was going to do to my emotional, like, whatever. And then someone shares it. I'll go back to her page, you know, later on, and anyone who thought that was funny and liked it or whatever, I check them out and I interact with them. So I think that and then this is what I have at the end of my notes here. Well, and I actually heard this in that video. It was shared in one of the groups yesterday from Brian Fryer. That was like, the business, your actual business, and the money that gets made in your business is going to happen in your inbox. The curiosity, the attraction, and the networking is what happens on your Facebook wall. So the idea of thinking that, like, people are just going to flock to you, that's the idea of it behind attraction marketing. However, these are, like, the steps that you have to kind of do that extra step to get their eyes on you. You know what I mean? So not once ever would I message anyone who I found through this way and say, hey, would you be interested in trying a product? Never. You couldn't pay me enough to do it. Well, I guess you could pay me enough, but like I would not be doing that. However, by me making this extra step of networking, my posts will then attract them to make me the money. You know what I mean? So attraction marketing isn't just post it and see if anyone decides to like it. This is like the stuff behind the scenes that happens. And then there's a whole nother, topic on the quality of content that you're posting for attraction marketing. So this gets them to see your good stuff. And I know this all sounds like super high tech and like it's really overwhelming. Once you get it, you just get it. It's the best way for me to explain it. But I think the biggest thing is just being coachable and willing to like take advice. But this is one thing I want to say just about the attraction marketing side of it, to say you have a lot more eyes on your stuff. One thing I have noticed over the last 2 weeks is the quality of my posts over the quantity of my posts. I used to be someone that, because we were taught this, right, I would post every 2 hours. Every 2 to 3 hours, I made some kind of post. It was either business, personal, like, whatever. I've been posting sometimes like 2 or 3 times a day, and that's it. And my posts have gotten so much more feedback, but it's like a before and after photo, a really vulnerable business post, and a live video. Before and after photo, really vulnerable business post, and a live video. And what Facebook, like the Facebook machine, basically sees that as people are still interested in looking at this, so we're going to keep showing them this. And then when you post something else later on, we're going to show them that too. Sorry, my computer keeps turning off, and I want to make sure this records here. But my suggestion to you is to really, I still like to post before and after photo every single day. I think that's just, it keeps people consistent. If you're posting it the right way, it's not spammy. But I would not post something within 4 hours of each other. I just wouldn't do it because people are not going to see it. Now, here's the thing. When you make a post, then you have to really beef up the interaction on those less posts that you're doing. So if I make a before and after picture and someone comments on it, I've got to be making sure that I'm replying to those comments, because that is what boosts it up in people's news feeds, because Facebook is like, oh, this is creating buzz on the internet. People are talking about this. There's comments and there's likes and interaction. So then, and the same thing if I post a really, and I actually need to get on some of my other ones from today, but if, like, I don't know if you guys saw a post I made today on Facebook. I put my finger in my kid's diaper because, like, he pooped or whatever. And so, well, he didn't poop, thank God. But like that got a ton of feedback. Then I posted something else after that was business related, like maybe 2 or 3 hours. It did not get nearly the response that it normally would have gotten if I had waited to post it like first thing in the morning. And it's because my poop post, to be blunt, was still getting a lot of interaction on it. And so my business post about my career in network marketing was like Facebook is like, wait, what do you want them to see? Because what is this? Does that make sense a little bit? So just really putting more thought into what you're posting, like just quality over quantity. And the real work on Facebook isn't really the posts that you're making. It's what you do on the back end. It's the interactions, it's this and that. And like I said, you can still totally do this having a full-time job. It's like I know there's a really good app called, I think it's called Power Hour, where it's called something, it's like about Power Hour, and you can basically set it on your phone and say, okay, for the first 20 minutes, I want to be commenting on posts. For 10 minutes, I want to reply to comments in groups. For 10 minutes, I want to follow up. And so if you just literally, 10 minutes, you guys, is a long time. If you just say, I'm going to sit for 10 minutes and interact with every, person on my Facebook feed that comes up, you would probably, I would argue to say we all can type fast enough to probably type 2 comments for every 60 seconds, right? That's 20 people you will have interacted with in 10 minutes. I mean, that's huge. So don't feel like you have to like, oh my God, I literally am going to spend my life with my phone like a 10-year-old like kid. Like, but just, you know, be intentional with it. And it's all, this is just a little side tip for you. Before you post something and after you post something are the biggest times where Facebook is looking at what you're doing. So before I go live and after I go live, I'm always commenting on people's stuff before I'm live. I'm always commenting on people's stuff after I'm live because Facebook sees it as, oh my goodness, Amanda like is so using this platform. We are going to make sure that she gets all the visibility in the world. So basically, and replying back to posts, that now we've got into an algorithm discussion. But I just want to make sure that like, you know, you're doing all this engagement and working on all the social media stuff, that you make the best of it. It has it's just changed so much. Used to be the more likes that you had, like you wanted people to like your status if this, and likes are donezo. Like likes are a thing of the past. They want comments and they want deep conversations and like replies that are like 26 comments deep, and they will every time you get a comment or you reply to a comment, let me put it like this. Every time you get a comment or you reply to a comment, Facebook puts a little tally mark and like, we're going to keep this seen. We're going to keep this seen. So that's why sometimes like you'll see us post in like a group chat like, hey, can someone go comment on my stuff? Because we're like, man, this was a dud. But if somebody else comments on it, Facebook boosts it back up. So that's just a little, I don't know how I got on that weird tangent. Do you guys have any questions about any of that? That was like, I feel like I was talking a mile a minute. Do you guys have any questions about any of that? And I can't see, so you just have to just unmute yourself because I can only see certain things here. But don't be shy, I don't mind. And like I said, too, if you guys are thinking of anything, but like I'm fine with ever doing like a Facebook checkup. So if you're like, hey girl, will you go look at my Facebook? Tell me what I need to add, what I need to get rid of. Is my bio okay? Are my pictures okay? Like I said, I'm not like Facebook Jesus or anything, but I'm happy to like just be a fresh set of eyes because a lot of times you don't think of something or whatever. And I've been, I don't mean this in and I've been doing this a long time. I just mean like I literally have like had to like learn Facebook in and out for a really long time, and so I don't mind helping in like that. Like, what is it going to take? Like a couple minutes to like scroll through and be like, you're sharing too many posts. Nope. Take this out of your pic. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't mind. So if you're like, hey, check my Facebook, totally cool with it. What else? Any other questions? This is why I wanted this to be recorded because I'm like, this is good stuff.
I would love for you to check my page and let me know your thoughts on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's totally fine. Cool beans. Well, and you guys can private message me anything else too, but if you think there's anything else anyone would want to know, we can talk about it. All right, so I am going to go ahead and end this. However, I will be really curious to see how this recording goes down, but I do technically have it on my computer. Hi, computer. And we'll get the link for you guys. So, all right. Let me know if you have any other questions. You can PM me, and I will chit chat with you guys soon. All right. Bye.